All kinds of teas are processed from the young tea shoots of the tea plants. Based on the different processing method and the fermentation degree, tea can be classified into 6 basic types and reprocessed tea. The 6 types of tea include green tea, yellow tea, white tea, oolong tea, dark tea, and black tea. And the reprocessed tea include compressed tea and scented tea. Black tea originated in China and popularized in the United Kingdom. It is named for its red leaves and red liquor after infusion. Today, black tea has become the most consumed tea in the world. So, do you know how black tea is made? Black tea is a kind of fermented tea, which is made from 1 bud 2-piece leaves or 1 bud 3-piece leaves. The main procedures of producing black tea are withering, rolling, fermenting, and drying. Let's go to our school's tea processing training room to see how black tea is processed. Withering is the first procedure in producing crude black tea. It refers to the process in which fresh tea leaves lose water over the period of time, causing hard steams and leaves to become wilted. After withering, the moisture can be properly evaporated, and the leaves become soft and tough, which is easy for shaping. In addition, this process will make the grassy taste disappear, and the tea aroma comes up, which is an important processing stage for the formation of black tea aroma. There are 2 withering methods: natural withering and chopped withering. Natural withering is to spread out the tea evenly, indoors or outdoors, where the sunlight is not too strong, and set it aside for a certain period of time. Chopped withering is to place fresh leaves in ventilating trough and pump hot air to accelerate the withering process. This method is commonly used at present. Well, how long does it take to wither? In general, it is better to complete withering in 2 to 10 hours, and the temperature is 35 to 38 centigrade degrees. For high-grade tea with fresh tender leaves, the best quality is obtained at 20 to 30 centigrade degrees, while the rapid withering of high temperature is unfavorable to final quality of the tea. After withering, followed by rolling, it is an indispensable procedure for black tea processing. Then, do you know how the tea leaves are rolled? There are hand rolling and machine rolling, but machine rolling is commonly used. The objective of rolling is to distract the leaf cells, combine oxidants with polyphenols and other constituents in the leaf to form the unique molecular structures, which give black tea its distinctive flavor and aroma. Today, some teas are still rolled by hand, but less as a method to reduce their moisture content than for the reason of flavor and authentics. For example, high-grade green tea and oolong tea are carefully rolled into neat little pearls. Next, we let the tea leaves ferment. Fermentation plays a key role in black tea processing. It is actually the oxidation of the tea constituents. The chemical interaction between various components of tea leaf in the presence of the oxygen will cause the leaf color to change from green to coppery red, deep brown to nearly black. During the fermentation, the tea leaves go through chemical reactions. Tea polyphenol reduce over 90%, and the tea yellow element and red element being produced. If these 2 elements are in the right proportion, the water's color will be red and bright. The process of fermentation is closely related to temperature, relative humidity, and fermenting time. In general, fermentation is usually carried out at 25 centigrade degrees at a relative humidity over 90%, which is conducive to improvement the activity of polyphenol oxidase and the formation and accumulation of their flavins. Starting from rolling, black tea is fermented for 2.5 to 3.5 hours in spring, and the time can be shortened in summer and autumn due to the high temperature. If the fermenting time is too long, it will result in excessive fermentation with low aroma, weak taste, dull red liquor, and infused leaves. On the contrary, if the time is too short, it will result in insufficient fermentation with low aroma, astringent taste, green button of the leaves, less red and bright color in tea liquor. After fermentation, more than 85% of the leaves turn red and give off the strong fruity aroma. The last step of black tea processing is drying. The purpose of drying is to halt the oxidation process and further reduce the moisture content. The leaves are dried under the condition of high temperature and hot air. Once it has been dried, the tea is shelf stable, and the flavors will stay as they are. There are 2 steps to dry black tea with tea dryer. The first drying is carried out at 110 to 120 centigrades for 10 to 15 minutes. The leaves are spread out 1 to 2 centimeters deep. The moisture content is reduced to 20 to 25% at the end of the first drying. After spreading for 45 to 60 minutes, the leaves are dried again at 80 to 100 centigrade degree to reduce the moisture content around 3%. In this way, the tea can be kept from deterioration. From above, we know that black tea is made from the fresh tea leaves that undergoes the processes of withering, rolling, fermenting, and drying. The 6 major teas have different processing techniques. The leaves are picked from the tea tree, and through different processing techniques, the ever-changing fragrance can be made. Before we explore tea processing in more detail, it is important to note that each factory will have its own variation in timing, temperature, machinery, and method at each stage of tea processing. Skilled factory workers can dynamically change these factors and adjust the producing process according to the desired outcome. Controlling these factors is the most skilled role in the entire tea industry, and even in highly mechanized factories, it still takes years of experience to learn how to set up each stage of the process to produce the perfect teas. In this lesson, we have learned about the black tea processing. After class, please get more information about the processing of the other 5 types of teas and share your thoughts in our discussion area. Here is the chart of the main processing steps of 6 major teas for your reference.